We ripped the van back apart. Hey guys, so it's Future Riley here. I'm gonna cut in because I did like a whole talking to camera piece inside of the van, walking you guys through the game plan for this video and for some upcoming videos. Well, now that I'm looking at the footage and cutting it together, for some reason, I did not have my focus set correctly, so it is kind of a blurry mess. So I decided to just film this piece right now, just to talk to you guys about what we're going to be doing and what to expect over the next few weeks on the channel. So in this video, we're going to be installing a WeBoost cellular booster on the van. So what this video is going to cover is the installation, and at the end, I'm going to give you guys some of my general first impressions with using this WeBoost. Now this is not going to be an in-depth review because I've only used it for one night out in the backcountry, and so I don't really have a ton of information to be able to provide you to give a quality review. Now in the future, I probably will give you guys a full in-depth review, so if you are new to the channel and you would like to see something like that, then please consider subscribing down below and drop a comment on maybe some questions you have about the WeBoost. At the end of the video, after we do the install, I'm also going to tell you guys why I chose the WeBoost over other solutions out there such as StarLink. Now lastly, I also referenced some other projects going on, and I do have some other future projects, including a awning install and then also installing some off-road lights on the van. And we're also toying with the idea of redoing our plumbing in the van to add more capacity and to kind of streamline our space back there a little bit more. So if you guys want to see us do that, then drop a comment and maybe give this video a thumbs up. But that's all I have to talk to you guys about right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking to the camera and get you guys back watching me do this WeBoost install. The main parts that come in the box are this main unit here, which will attach somewhere in the van. I'm probably going to put it on the passenger side cabinet. So you have this, which is the booster itself. Then you got this small antenna, which is the inside antenna. Now this is going to be a little bit different from the RV one. I did buy the truck one instead of the RV one. And the reason is when I ordered it, at that time, we were talking with somebody about possibly purchasing the van, so if it wouldn't work, then I could use it on another vehicle, or like a truck or something. So it's meant for truckers. It's going to do essentially the same thing, but they have the, the different models and stuff. So Future Riley here again. I'm going to cut in here just to let you guys know that there are other antennas you can buy, including the RV antenna. So every one of these WeBoosts, from what I can see online, the booster itself is the same. So as you can go on to the WeBoost website and order the other antenna. So if I see that I need more space, or maybe that I'm not getting enough coverage in the van, then I can look to add that bigger piece later down the road. They're really cheap. I think they're like $30 or $40. I will go ahead and kind of flash it on the screen and then link it down below. I didn't know that at the time of filming this, but I just want to let you guys know that in the future, if we need to, we can totally add that. So let's get back to the video. This is the inside antenna, and then you have this outside antenna with this long wire. Should be plenty of room to work with. And essentially the outside antenna is going to plug in on the top part of this, and then the inside antenna plugs in the bottom along with the power supply. The outside antenna also comes with some like extenders to make it taller. I don't think I'm gonna use that. I can probably just get away with just the single one. I don't think I need to go that high with it. We'll see. I don't want it to look like a big tail hanging off the end of it. So with how tall the van is, I think we're gonna be okay. And then the bracket for that, if you notice here, it's got like this little hole, and that's for clipping onto like a rear view mirror or another bar or something. Now I don't really have anything to mount like that to. And I actually went to the store and got an angle bracket, and I was going to do some drilling. But after inspecting this a little bit more, I think I'm going to be able to make this work just as is. And even if there is that little gap there, like, it's going to be fine. It's going to have 2 securing points there. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. So I will probably use this. I do have to drill some holes, but very minimal. So that's the plan. I will start with the outside antenna, get that run, then I'll get the inside antenna, and then honestly this part might have to wait until I put the actual cabinet back up, which won't happen until I'm done with other construction. So you might see a time jump in this video. Let's get to it. Now I already am going to be relocating these lights, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run or use one of these wires as a pull string to pull this wire down. It's not wanting to fish down, and it's either that or I got to pull the roof panel down to access that. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just use that one right there as a pull string, and then I will use the other wire as a pull string to run 2 fresh black and reds up here, because the relay is just right here. So and then I'm probably gonna need to have a new length of it anyway, because this wire over here is gonna be the first run up here for those. But I'm not gonna go too much into that electrical, because it's gonna be in another episode, so I'm not gonna go too far into it right now. But just so you guys know, I'm gonna use that as a pull string, and we'll go from there. Well, my pull string failed, so I'm probably gonna go ahead and just pull a couple screws out and see if I can get to the grommet. So I should have plenty of slack here. I also left a little bit of slack up on the roof just in case, you know, if it gets hit by a tree or anything like that. I want it to be able to have a little bit of give up there. So I'm probably will do some wire management up there in the future, but for right now, I think this is gonna be more than enough, and then I can obviously fish it back in and store it away, because it should be coming out right about here on that cabinet. So what we're gonna do now is go ahead and fish this guy up to the front and go from there. This is actually supposed to be plugged into like a cigarette lighter. I'm not going to do that though. It's also got a switch for on and off. This thing pulls like no power, so I'm just going to go ahead and hardwire it in. So there you have hardwire kits, but I'm just going to cut this and do it myself. Now I did know about this. I'm going to link down below the explorers.life channel. They're really great. I actually learned a lot from them for the electronic side of things. Then when they were doing their install, they also had this issue where when you exposed it, you actually had all these separate wires and then like one single white wire. The white wire is gonna be our positive, all these are the negative, so I'm gonna do kind of what I saw done. That's what I'm gonna spin these up, create my own wire, and then I'm gonna do a bunch of heat shrinking on this just to make sure we're as safe as we could possibly be. And Future Riley jumping in here again. Sorry for, there's a lot of corrections going on in this edit. It is hard to film and teach and do the work all at the same time, so not always perfect. If you guys are not comfortable doing this type of electrical work, then you can go on the WeBoost website and they have hardwire kits available to purchase as well. And you could always just hardwire in another cigarette lighter and plug that in. I didn't do that because I didn't want to have a failure option. So like if there's a vibration that happens and that becomes loose, then I have no way of really getting to it to service it, if that makes sense. So that's why I wanted it hardwired. And if I am in a place that I know I don't have any cell reception and the booster isn't working and I don't want to run it, even though it's very minimal power, I can always just unplug it at the unit and then you don't have power. So there's your on-off button. So now that we've done the install, let me give you guys my first impressions. But before I do that, I just want to explain for those of you out there who are looking to grab a WeBoost. This is something that I thought about when I first looked into it, when I was looking at the differences between like a WeBoost or a StarLink. So one of my good friends actually has the RV StarLink, so I have some experience with it. Here in the Southwest, it's awesome, honestly. We streamed Netflix and other movies and all that, and we had no cell service and we were way out in the boonies and had no issues with StarLink. Now here in the Southwest, we don't have any trees really, so we don't deal with coverage issues. I have been reading that a lot of people on the East Coast in the United States and other areas that are more woodland areas, they have been struggling with StarLink just a little bit because of that coverage issue with the trees blocking the reception. Now one thing with a WeBoost is this is only going to boost what is already there. It's not going to create a new signal. So like StarLink is a satellite signal, you're going to get direct communication there. WeBoost is just grabbing a already present signal and amplifying it for you to use. So if there's nothing there, then you can't amplify it. So don't get a WeBoost thinking you're going to magically have cell service if there was nothing there originally. Now, again, I can't give you a full in-depth review here, but what I will say is some areas that we went to, my wife and I actually took the van out. She has never stayed in it since we've done the constructions, though. I took her out and we stayed in it for a night. And I went to a couple spots knowing that there is poor cell service in that area, but I also knew that there are cell towers still nearby, so that, you know, this would be a good opportunity to put the WeBoost to test. And to our surprise, we actually did have cell service in an area that we knew we were kind of far from it. It actually gave us enough to be able to actually get on social media and send some text messages and answer a phone call. The WeBoost app is pretty intuitive in terms of being able to locate your nearest tower or the direction of your nearest tower. It tells you to park your antenna closest or in that general direction to help with the amplification of that service. So, I mean, for the most part, I was actually pretty impressed that it allowed me to send a call and send text messages in an area that I usually don't have that opportunity. And one last comparison to between StarLink and WeBoost is you pay a one-time fee for the WeBoost of, let's say, $400 or $500 or whatever the unit cost is. I will link it right here. But once you pay that, you're done. It's just going to go pull whatever cell coverage or cellular device or plan that you have, and that's what it's going to pull in. So you're not paying anything extra. Whereas StarLink, if you're wanting the in-motion version of it, or maybe even just the ground deploy, but let's just say for this example for a van, you're going to want the in-motion so you can permanently mount it to the roof, you're looking at about $2,000 for the unit, and then you have to pay $150 a month for the subscription. Now, it is cancelable, and it is a month-to-month kind of a thing, so you could only pay for it if you know you're going to use it for that month, and I do think that that's great. For us, with this van, we don't primarily use it all the time, so I wasn't going to go pay for this large dish for somebody else to use. So I thought the WeBoost was a great alternative to add to the van. Gives me a little bit more cell service when I go out, and to be honest, when I'm out there, I'm trying to get away from everything, so I don't always want that service, but it does let me communicate with family and let them know what I'm up to and if I'm changing locations or if there's, God forbid, an emergency. So I think temper your expectations with it, but my initial impressions, I think it's pretty solid, so I'm looking forward to testing it further. And again, if you guys have questions about it and you want to have me test certain things, then comment down below what maybe you want to see, and I'll create some follow-up content based around the WeBoost and really putting it through its tests. Overall, this installation is pretty simple. I would label it maybe a 4 out of 10. It's not very difficult, so if you guys have been doing your own DIY van or overlanding rig or anything to this point, you should be able to handle this, no problem. That's all I have for you guys in today's episode. I do have a couple more construction episodes coming out, so make sure you guys hit the subscribe button down below if you guys enjoyed this content. Also, please consider giving this video a thumbs up if you learned something, or if you just enjoyed watching me do the install and ramble onto a camera. If you guys are new to the channel, I'm currently posting 1 video a week, and these videos cover everything from DIY vans or outdoor adventure rigs, I would like to more classify as, because I got some other things in the works that really aren't van related, but same family. And then I'm also covering a lot of my time in the field as a wildlife, landscape, and nature photographer. So if you guys enjoy watching outdoor content and photography and video content creation, then you guys will probably enjoy this channel. At least I hope you would enjoy this channel. I also from time to time teach photography and videography, so if you guys want to learn that, or if you are a creator yourself, then again, consider hitting the subscribe button, because there's content kind of for everybody. That's it. I will see you guys in next week's video. Thank you for watching this far, and I'll see you later.